Hey, this is Michael. Searched the internet, including YouTube, for a video on how to run shock cord, elastic cord, bungee cord through the slats of one of these foldable camping tables, and I couldn't find anything that I was happy with. So I'm going to show you what I did to run bungee cord through the slats of this table. So I've already disassembled the table, removed the old bungee cord. You can see videos on that. Kept everything, the little plastic spacers that go between the slats, the end caps that you pull off on the each end. I've already run my bungee cord through the hole, put a little figure 8 knot in it and pulled it back through. And now I am in the process of running 4 cords through, I think, about 20 slats here. And it would be a slow and painful process if you're just trying to push the cord through. There's just no way. So what I've come up with is this. These were once 3.5-inch nails, where I've cut the end off using a hacksaw. And then what I've done is I've taken a small piece of tape and I've rolled it around the nail and the end of the bungee cord. And the combination of the tape, the nail, the bungee cord is still small enough that I can pass it through the hole on the slats as well as pass it through the spacer. Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate try to demonstrate how I actually connected the nail to the cord using tape. And I also demonstrate how I'm passing the nail through each slat and through the plastic spacer. So I found this very thin packing tape that I'm using. So I'm just going to cut off maybe 3/4 of an inch. Take that little piece, and here's the tricky part. Put the bungee cord through half of it, and it doesn't really stick that well to the bungee cord, and then put the nail through the other half. And then if you've ever rolled a cigarette in your life, I'm going to try to do that. Just roll these together, keep them tight, and voila. Alright, we ran out of space on the SD card there, but let's pick it up. So I've rolled the bungee cord or shock cord, elastic cord, and the nail together using some thin packing tape. And now what I'm going to do is grab one of the spacers that I saved, and I'm going to run that spacer down the nail, past the tape, all the way down the cord to the slat, and then I'm going to take my next slat, I'm going to pass the nail through it. Shouldn't be too challenging, and there we go. And we just need to do this 20 times 4 cords, and we're done. Now we have to compare the trade-off here between repairing and buying new, but these tables still run about $125, $130 at REI. My 20 feet of elastic cord cost me 60 cents an inch times 20 feet, 4 lengths of 5 foot, so that was $12. And my time, well, my time's not very valuable, at least on weekends. So have at it, make your own trade-off, but this is how I handled the tricky task of running the elastic cord through a slat. So I wanted to give you a quickie on what's happening here in mid-action. So I've got my shock cord run through 7 slats here. Now let's do number 8. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab 4 spacers from the plastic bag where I stored them as I was pulling them off. I'm going to take the outside shock cord. I'm going to pass the spacer through the nail, across the tape, along the shock cord there. And then I'm going to run this through the next slat. And there we go, there's one. Next spacer, through the nail, over the tape. Gotta work it because it's a little tight. And nail through the holes in the slats. There's 2. Spacer over nail, over tape. Through the slat. And number 4. Through the slat. Sometimes I get it first try, sometimes not. Okay, and then I'll slide the slat all the way down, pull the bungee through, shock cord through. Alright, and we just need to repeat that about 12 more times and we're done. Okay, here we are a little further along. I miscounted the slats. There are actually 24 of them. So we're on the, we've passed the shock cord through 23 of the slats. Actually, we've connected it to the end slat. We've passed it through the 22 in the middle, and now we're back to the slat on the other end. And this is the finishing touch. This is where we're going to remove the nails that we've taped off, or taped to the ends of each of the shock cords. We're going to pass the end of the shock cord through the holes on the end piece. We're going to tie a little figure-8 knot in there, and then we're going to put the caps back on the ends. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so this is what I've done. I've pulled a few inches of bungee through the slats, and then I've used a pair of surgical tongs to clamp that. I put the end through the hole, brought it out to the side, and I'm tying my little figure-8 knot to the end of the shock cord. Once I get that done, I'll just trim off the end and burn it, or melt it so that it doesn't fray. Let it go and carry on and do that with the other 3. Alright, the job is done. The bungee cord, the shock cord is in place, the spacers. For those of you who've never seen one of these roll top tables, this is mine. I've had it for decades. They're pretty quick and easy to assemble. And when the bungee cords are, the shock cords are tight, it's very quick and easy to disassemble. So this one just folds in slats of 3. One more. There we go. And done. Ready to put this away. The most challenging part is the base, but that's another story.